Hey y'all, it's your favorite sassy bartender back to remind you to tip 20%, especially at local establishments. Now, I know that I have talked in the past about taxes and all the boring numbers that go along with that. But here in the post-COVID world, we forget that while inflation has gone through the roof, minimum wage has not. And the laws around taxation have also not changed. And that 20% number, it sounds incredibly daunting, right? It sounds like a lot, but I promise you it isn't. So let me just show you a little receipt from, this is from an Indian restaurant at Pike's Market in Seattle. So that's here in Washington, where our sales tax is 8.7%. May as well round that up to 9. Now, there's 4 items, lunch for 2 people. I'm gonna zoom in here, and this is the tax, $3.43. May as well round that up to 4, right? And then double that, $8. $8 on top of a $37 tab. So that's what, like 45 bucks? Which comes out to 23 bucks a person, which in downtown Seattle is not that bad. And that's wild to think that 25 bucks a person is what we consider normal now, because before COVID, that did sound like a lot. But that's the world that we live in. Now, a lot of places, I'm sure you've noticed, a lot of bars and restaurants here in Spokane closed in the last couple of years. And the ones that didn't close during COVID closed shortly after because they couldn't pay for the loans they got during COVID, or they couldn't stay staffed and keep up with the rising costs. Now, this is where you, the customer, come in. I've talked before about how tipping started in America as kind of a way for employers to not have to pay their staff. Legally, that's not allowed anymore, but we have come full circle in a way to where tipping the staff and relying on the customers is what keeps the place open. Not just the regular business of buying things, but tipping the staff really helps keep the place open, because when you tip 20%, like I've said before, the server cuts even on their taxes and has a little bit of cushion on top. And that cushion on top tips out the kitchen, the dishwasher, the host, the bartender. It gets dispersed to more than just that one person. And by keeping the staff well paid, you keep service better. I'm sure we've all had restaurant experiences post-COVID where we were wondering why everything was taking so long, or why the server just looked frazzled. And it's because they're short-handed. A lot of people left the service industry during COVID because we couldn't do it, for one thing. It wasn't available as a job. But because tipping went kaput, people weren't, it's hard to be generous when times are hard for everyone, but it's hard to keep a business open without staff wanting to be there. And so that 20% is really the thing that causes that, the staff to want to stay. It's also going to be better for this experience that you're going to have as a repeat customer. Let's say that there's a pizza place within walking distance of your house. If you've been there repeatedly and you always tip like $2 on a $40 tab, the staff is not excited to see you. They're not excited to see you. You're not going to get the same quality of service that you got on your first impression, because they know what to expect from you, and they're going to put their time and energy into a table that they know is going to tip them better. If you frequent somewhere and you always tip at least 18%, the next time you come in, the staff is going to be so excited to see you because they know what to expect. You're going to get better service. You're going to get better attention paid to you when you've become that good customer. And I know that that sounds counterintuitive to maybe what your parents told you, of, you know, the customer is always right, or it's called service for a reason. Those statements are definitely things that I heard growing up, and you can hear how reductive they are, right? But especially now, it's very much come back to treating people the way that you want to be treated. And unfortunately, some of that has to come from your wallet. You treat servers the way that you would want to be treated. You pay servers what you would want to be paid if you were in their shoes. And for most servers, the goal that they're looking for that lets them know that they can pay their bills and that they did good at their job that day is 20%.